That's it. I'm good. Thank you. One for now. One for tomorrow. Thursday, Friday.
Guess what? I think there's some BS that they dropped this off to us.
I know that, but I mean,
The agenda is for y'all. This is for y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to call the meeting to order. If I can have your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to call the Highland Park City Council. My pleasure to call the Highland Park in-person and virtual City Council meeting to order on this Tuesday, February 20th, 2024 at 7 p.m. For our opening ceremonies today, I'd like to remind all of our guests and our citizens here that we are in the month of February. This month is set aside for Americans of African descent to mark our history and to celebrate the contributions that we have made to this country. We are Americans of African descent. And so I want to make sure that we take this opportunity to talk to our children and our grandchildren, those of you who have them, about the amazing contributions that we have made to this wonderful country, despite how we're viewed in the world. There's no place like home, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go with the roll call. Madam Deputy Clerk.
Councilman Ashafi?
Here.
Councilwoman Martin?
here.
Councilwoman Manica?
Here.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Present.
Council President Thomas?
Here, thank you very much. So we'll move on to item 3. That's the approval of the agenda. I will allow members an opportunity to prepare to take an action on the approval of tonight's agenda. City Council, at your pleasure.
We have a walk-on item.
I beg your pardon.
We have an item that Councilman Shafi wants to walk on.
Okay, if we could get that addressed. We're still waiting for a motion on the floor. Is that item in writing? Is it something that?
It is. Also, Councilman Shafi, do you have copies?
Oh, you know what? I did not make copies. I printed that one out, but I can run and make some copies.
I'll wait for those copies. I can't. How can I make a motion on the resolution and I don't have it in front of me?
So I move.
Okay, we
take
get
a
it.
5 minutes.
Well, everybody was sent it. It was sent by 9 o'clock. I just
Yeah,
printed
but it's
it out.
being brought up tonight, so
Yeah.
they need to refresh the.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're missing the minutes as well in here for our special meeting.
She
brought them in
Okay,
separately.
are they here?
Yes.
It was a separate document the clerk
Right here on the table in
presented.
front of me. I see them.
Okay.
I see them. Okay.
We're gonna break slightly
Thank
until we
you
get
so
that,
much.
till we get that document.
Yes, please.
Move to a 5-minute recess.
All those in favor?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Very impromptu. Mr. Shafi, would you go ahead and read that resolution while we wait on
Actually,
copies?
she just took it. And to make some copies. Yeah, sorry. But she just took it to make some copies.
While we wait, we will also need someone to initiate action on adding the minutes for the February 9th special meeting.
Council President, I move to add the minutes
We're
from
on
the
Hold on a
special
second.
meeting.
Yeah, we're on recess right now, but when the time
Oh,
comes,
okay.
if you could include that, in whatever
Okay,
motion that
sure
comes to
thing.
the floor.
You so much.
No.
Are we going to place this under legal? Or it could go under, or it could go under council affairs. That's fine with me as well. Okay, then. That's not a problem with me. I was just curious.
Yeah, that's probably where. So.
Just curious. Which route we were going to place it. A. Okay.
So. We put it in here.
Section for city council. She will do the
Right.
requirement. Lydia,
Yes.
you're gonna add a section for city
So
council.
we're talking about 11.
Like I said, I'm saying council fair, but not council fair. City council has a section.
No. Really needs to go out before that, so it really should go.
Okay, I said council fair, not council fair. So it's gonna just be under city council.
What just mean under?
Just under city council.
So this will be added. Okay. Ms. Manica, you want to bring us back? Ms. Manica, you want to bring us back?
I move to
Reconvene.
reconvene from the 5-minute recess.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is back in session at 7:09 PM. We are on item 3, the approval of the agenda. City Council, what is your pleasure?
I want to make a motion to amend the agenda. I want-
Second.
Well, wait a minute, what?
Yes, please. Can we, let's be thorough.
Oh, okay, so to add the special meeting minutes,
Thank you very much.
and then I also want to have the discussion with Gleewood instead of a closed session. I want to have an open session.
Well,
That
let's do
can't
two
happen.
separate. Let's do,
That can't happen.
Glee was not even here.
Okay, first motion I want to make is to add the minutes for the special meeting
Okay,
for February 9th, 2024.
all right.
Second.
Okay, so this is related to you are making a motion to approve the agenda with the following amendments: the addition of the meeting notes for the 9th, and
To have the Gleewood discussion instead of having it in a closed session, to have it as an open session.
we can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're saying
No,
consult with your attorneys.
no, they're conferring with attorneys, and so we will come back out and you'll have an adequate opportunity to take whatever action is necessary. But the attorneys are talking with counsel first. And that's the reason for the closed session.
Okay, so then I want to change it to having it to schedule for another day.
Okay, help me understand what we're doing here. Just make so that when it's time to vote on it, I understand what's being voted on. If you don't mind starting over, you'd be kind.
So I want to approve the minutes, but I want to amend the agenda for the Gleewood. We have the discussion to schedule for another day.
So to table the discussion, to remove it. Okay. Do you have, is there support?
I support.
There's support from Council Pro Tem. So we have a motion on the floor for the approval of today's agenda with the addition of the in-person and virtual minutes for February 9th and the removal of item 5 from the agenda. This motion has been made by Councilwoman Martin and supported by Council Pro Tem Robinson. Am I correct?
Hold a second. Council President, that's not clear.
That's why I asked her to
Okay,
repeat
there are
it.
2 items here, okay? Closed session is one of them.
Hold on a second, Mr. Al-Shafi. Right now, Ms. Martin and Ms. Robinson actually have the floor. I'm
Isn't
trying
that
to
item
clarify
5?
what the motion is before we get into any of the
So if we
discussion.
talk about item 5, that would be A and B. Am I
Item
correct?
five. Correct. She
Just
asked
so we're
to
all
have them
clear,
removed.
right?
That's what you asked for, right, ma'am?
What's your question, Ms. Martin?
Okay. To remove it. Okay. So that would be having that stricken from today's meeting altogether.
Correct.
So
I want
motion
to
on
move
the
it to
floor.
I just want to move it to another day. That's it.
That's the motion on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Additional discussion, or can we vote on this?
Additional.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
got
have
some
additional
additional
discussion.
I'm sorry. Ms. Manica asked to be acknowledged. Mr. Al-Shafi, I heard you. I'm going to make sure I have an opportunity for you to speak as well. Ms. Manica, if you would. Wait, before we go, the item on the floor is the approval of the agenda. It's not for a full-blown discussion. Right now, we're talking about the approval of the agenda. Okay, so
Okay, so are we leaving out? I heard her motion, but prior to her even to Ms. Martin coming up with one about the closed session for Gleewood, we were discussing special meeting minutes that were left out of the agenda and Mr. Shafi's resolution, which is what we took the 5-minute recess for.
Exactly.
That hasn't, it just disappeared all of a sudden. So
Right, but let's take them one at a time.
can we, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
Mr. Al-Shafi,
okay, so look at, I'm going to offer a compromise. Okay, instead of us removing item 5, it's very easy for this council, if they don't want to have the closed session, we can vote no. They need a 4 vote to go in the closed session anyway. Okay, so we could vote no if we don't want to have the closed session, but we need to get into this GLEWA contract and we need to deal with this today. This is the first time this hall has been full in God knows how long, because this water is a serious issue here and we need to deal with this on this deadline today. So I think that we can vote no on the closed session and then we can get into this GLEWA deal if Councilwoman Martin would amend her her motion to simply just do that instead, because we can simply vote no on the closed session.
Okay,
But why,
thank you for that. So considering the fact that, yes, I see it, considering the fact that it has been explained to us twice by the attorney assigned to city council that this is a pending legal matter, and therefore this matter must be discussed in closed session. The fact that we are ignoring that recommendation is troubling. It should cause great concern for the citizens in the room that the 5 elected officials here are disregarding the law first, and then the recommendation of the attorneys that we're paying for. Ms. Manica, you had your hand up?
I did. And I guess I just wanted to reiterate that I'm missing something, because if you're told that every closed session we've been in is a litigation and it cannot be discussed out here, I'm not sure why we even having this conversation. We can have a closed session and still discuss it. And then you can also vote differently or whatever you want to do on 5B, but not to have a discussion about this with the lawyers seems to be very detrimental.
The item on the floor is still item 3, the approval of the agenda. Madam Pro Tem?
I would like to also mention what is detrimental is this is the first time that we're meeting with the city attorneys to discuss any of this for a vote.
well,
Whether
first,
it's open or the closed session.
okay, look, may I, please?
Yes, please. Ms. Burton?
That's it.
First-
You can't not meet with them. That doesn't make sense. You gotta meet
You
with
meet
them
with them
once,
on the day that
and
we want to
then you're
vote.
not voting, you're meeting, not voting,
Mm.
you're meeting.
Mm.
So when do we have a first discussion?
Mm.
That would be another question.
Yeah.
We still have to have a discussion.
Exactly.
It's not about, we're not voting, just plain and simple. We're
Yeah.
not voting.
There
We're
is no
asking to
resolution
go
in
back
this
there and
packet.
talk to them.
There is no resolution for us to vote on today. The resolution that we just received, it's a real thing. I can hold it in my hand. There is no resolution on this.
So let's do this, council, if I may.
Please.
A couple things. One, you have a request to add the minutes. Let's vote on that. Then you have a separate request relating to whether it's a closed session or not, and we're having some discussion on that. It would certainly be my advice to council, as any other lawyer would advise council, to at least talk to the lawyers about what's going on. We received a 250-page document late on Wednesday, February 14th. That left a Thursday and Friday. Yesterday was a holiday. So certainly the legal department has not had a sufficient amount of time to prepare a resolution saying that, this should move forward. Council can rule in whatever fashion it deems appropriate, but at least talk to the lawyers about it first. If you were charged with murder, you wouldn't want to sit up here and say, okay, let's just talk to everybody about it. And just let's talk to us and see what's going on. No, but we're under time constraints. This is not what was imposed by the city of Highland Park. These are constraints that were imposed by the courts, but there's a stipulated order that was extended. And today was the day. Now you can vote it up or down, but at least let's talk about it. And if you want to come back in the main session and talk, that's fine. But at least let's talk with the lawyers. We've had people who have traveled here, from California. Let's talk to the lawyers first. That would be my advice to council. And then if you want to come back out, we're not trying to hide anything from the citizens. You have people that are here that want to hear what's going on. But we want to tell you first because we got the documents late ourselves. So we wish we could, that things were different. They're not. But don't, Councilwoman Martin, please don't do that. Let's just go into closed session and talk about it, and then we can come back out and the council can take whatever action that they deem appropriate. But to just say, no, we're not going into closed session. We don't want to talk to the lawyers, but you keep saying, oh, well, this is our first time talking to them. Well, then let's talk. And if we need additional time to talk, then of course you'll make that decision. But at least allow us an opportunity to confer with you outside the presence of the citizens right now, and then we'll come back to the main session. Don't do that. As a lawyer, don't do that. Let's talk about the issues and then council can make a determination of how you want to proceed. But to just remove it, that's not wise before you at least have some advice from the lawyers in closed session. You know what? If we could have rescheduled, we've been trying. We have Judge Rashid that's here. We have all these parties that have been working behind the scenes since last week, trying to get things done and trying to get it rescheduled. We'd like to share some of those concerns with you, but we don't necessarily want everything that's on the news right now. So let us talk in private and then we'll come back out in full session and you can take whatever action that you want to at that time. We're not trying to tell you to vote up or down. We're not trying to tell you. We're just trying to explain to you what happened. And we'd like to do that in private first. As we've done with any other closed session. Because again, this case is still pending. It's not completely resolved. We have to go back before the judge on this matter. Oh, you talking about the water crisis as a whole? We're trying to get a resolution. Well, you know that it's been going on for a number of years, but it wasn't until late last year that we finally, tried to get some sort of resolution after hours and days of mediation. But we're not completely there. We're trying to get there, but we're not there yet. So afford us an opportunity. You have people here that specialize in this area who've been working on these cases for quite some time. You had 10 cases as a whole relating to different areas, EPA, GLEWA, you had 10 cases. So let us talk to you about that, however long it takes, and then we'll come back out. But to say, oh, let's just have it a different day. No, we're under some time constraints and we want you to know about that too and what could possibly happen. And nobody here, wants to see a levy placed on their property. Nobody wants to see that happen. So there are things that we're trying to avoid here. And again, we have this time crunch that we've been placed in as lawyers too. And nobody wants to be in that predicament either. But we're here, so we got to deal with it. Let's talk in closed session and we'll give you a little more information about that. And then you can come out and make whatever decision you think is appropriate.
Okay, so the item on the floor is the approval of the agenda. And we are 1/5 consensus vote for the 8,900 people that live in the city. Each of us are 1/5, 20% of the vote. We are supposed to act in the best interest of the citizens. It is our mandate that we act as if we were sitting with 9 of y'all and we got a consensus on what we should or should not do. I don't think anybody would want their legal matters discussed in an open forum. This is your business. This is your business. So what are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Martin, supported by Council Pro Tem Robinson, for the addition of the in-person and virtual meeting on February 9th. We also have a hanging issue.
Well, let's do one at a time.
Okay, so how are we gonna do this? I run the meeting. You guys make the motions. All I do is ask for the vote.
Are you guys rescinding? You gotta rescind support and rescind the motion.
Are we adding this other resolution? Because we didn't add the one with the treasurer's position either.
You can't do that. So we rescind your motion for the closed session. Not until
We have a motion on the floor.
You need to rescind the
Why
other
don't you
motion.
vote on the special meeting,
The
then
other
vote
and then
on the closed
support.
session, then vote on the other item that he wants to add? Take them separate.
I would advise you to confer with your client.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
so you have a motion regarding the special meeting. Can we take a vote on that first?
Yeah, we can take a vote on the special meeting.
Okay.
So we have a motion on the floor as it relates to the agenda. We're going to extend item 3. Apparently, we're going to have 2 actions on item 3. This is the approval of the agenda. Ms. Martin, help me if I'm misspeaking. You have a motion on the floor to approve tonight's agenda with the addition of the in-person and virtual meeting notes here for February 9th, 2024. It is supported by Council Pro Tem Robinson.
No,
So,
that was not the motion.
okay, so give me the motion. We've had a lot of conversations. I want to make sure I get the motion correct, so I'm going to ask the author of the motion to please restate it.
I want to make a motion to amend the agenda, to approve and amend the agenda to add the special meeting for February 9th, 2024.
Mhm.
And then I was asking about number 5. Oh, okay.
The one at a time.
Okay, got it. Just to add the February 9th
Support.
special meeting.
No,
No, she already have support on the floor.
Come on, let's do it.
can the clerk please reread the motion that was given? Please.
No,
It's very.
what I have is that Ms. Martin moved to add the minutes from the special meeting, and Ms. Manica approved that. And then she went to removing item 5, and that's the one that Ms. Robinson seconded. So I'm lost on where we are as well.
So can we please just rescind all motions?
So I'm gonna rescind all motions.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're on item 3.
The first thing I'm gonna do is I want to approve the agenda
Mhm.
and add, just make it amended, February 9th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Support.
So we have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Martin, supported by Councilman Shafi, to approve tonight's agenda with the following amendment, adding the special meeting, in-person and virtual meeting minutes for February 9th, 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you
Council-
please,
Excuse me,
would you please call the roll on it?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes, to add the minutes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes, to only add the minutes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes,
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes, to add February 9th, 2024 minutes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. So the agenda as amended includes a section for the approval of the in-person and virtual special meeting minutes for February 9th, 2024. Let us proceed to item 4. This is the approval of the proposed minutes. City Council, what's your pleasure on this item?
No, we still have
Hold on,
other.
we still got
items.
other things to add.
They didn't, I haven't heard a motion. It said approve the agenda. I'm waiting.
Well, we had different aspects of the agenda.
Sure.
Normally, we would take everything, but because, it's a little
Granted.
confusion
It's a
here, I
slight
think it's
confusion.
best
Granted,
that we
It's-
add in increments and, some things might be added,
so
some
we're gonna
things
have
might not.
another motion on item
So
3.
she has item number 5, I believe, that came up. And then we have another amendment relating to the walk-on.
So let me make sure I'm getting this correct, Councilman.
Yes.
We just approved the agenda,
No, we approved one
The
portion.
minutes.
We approved one amendment
okay?
to the agenda.
Okay,
And I'd ask that it be broken down into 3 because you clump them and all could fail.
all right, City Council, we're still on item 3.
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda for a walk-on item that was given to us by Attorney John Clark to fill the vacant position for Janice Bibbs, which will be empty on the 21st of this month.
22nd, actually.
Okay, is it 22nd?
Yes.
Okay.
Under
Okay,
item 3,
22nd. So there is a resolution and a posting. I would like them both to be added on to the agenda, please.
we have, under item 3, the approval of the agenda, we have a motion for a walk-on from Councilman Shafi. For a resolution, Mr. Shafi, wait, a minute, would you please read that resolution?
Absolutely.
I'll ask for support when he's finished. I want to make sure everybody hears what this resolution is before we ask for
City
support.
of Highland Park, resolution to approve posting for city treasurer position. Whereas the city treasurer is an elected position in the city of Highland Park. And whereas the Wayne County Circuit Court has ordered that the city treasurer is ineligible to hold the position of treasurer. And whereas as a result of the court order, The position will be vacant February 22nd, you are correct, 2024, absent further court action. And whereas pursuant to the city charter, there is a process for replacing, for replacement of city treasurer pursuant to Highland Park City Charter, section 413. Now therefore be it resolved, the pursuant to Highland Park City Charter, section 413C, the Highland Park City Council directs the city clerk to determine if any individual in the last preceding election for treasurer received votes other than Janice Bibbs, which is a no. Now therefore be it further resolved that if there are no individuals that received votes in the last preceding election for the city treasurer that are eligible to hold office, the Highland Park City Council directs city staff to post the position of city treasurer so that qualified candidates may be considered for placement in the position by the Highland Park City Council and pending special election to permanent placement. Added and adopted this 20th day of February 2024 by vote of Highland Park City Council.
Thank you very much. Is there support for Mr. Ashafi's motion to add this?
Support.
As well as the posting, Councilman Shafi.
Oh, yeah. I can read the posting as well,
If you would,
if you like.
please go right ahead.
City of Highland Park, Highland Park City Council posting. The position of treasurer for the city of Highland Park has become vacant and it is incumbent upon the Highland Park City Council to name a replacement until such time as a special election may be held. In order to be eligible to be the city treasurer, an individual must comply with applicable provisions of the city charter of Highland Park, including 1, the individual must be at least 25 years of age and have been a registered elector in the city of Highland Park for at least 1 year. 2, the individual may not be in default to the city of Highland Park or County of Wayne. 3, the individual may not have violated election laws, including violations of oath of office in the preceding 10 years. 4, the individual may not have been convicted of a felony for dishonesty, deceit, fraud, or a breach of the public trust while holding an elective office or a government position in the past 20 years. 5, the individual may not hold another office or employment with the city of Highland Park. And number 6, the individual may be able to obtain, must be able to obtain a surety bond as may be required by Highland Park City Council. Individuals interested in applying for this position should contact the City of Highland Park Human Resources Department, Kira Lyons, on or before February 2024. We have to pick that date.
Correct. It has to be after the 22nd.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Having read that, we have a motion on the floor.
You're gonna pick that date now, Councilman Shafi, before the vote?
So hold on a second. Let's look at the dates here. So we're going to pick a date here. The seat is vacant on the 22nd, right?
Correct.
Okay. I want to give, I would like for us to give people ample amount enough time to put in their resumes. So let's say we have everybody's resume in by the 26th
of February.
Or would y'all like that pushed a little bit later?
We should.
Well, you
we
have
should at
30 days
least
to fill the
30
position.
days.
No, 30 days to fill the
You don't need to
position.
Use 30 days.
You
Okay.
can't, if.
It's not necessarily really used 30 days.
To-
Understand.
To
that
interview
while
a
this city-
qualified candidate, you cannot,
Understand,
We're talking
understand
about
that
the
while
treasurer.
this position is vacant, this city grinds to a halt.
we have a deputy treasurer who's
Doesn't mean
working.
anything. It still has to be filled.
So to hire a professional for
so
such a serious
question is-
position, you don't do it in a
Question,
week.
so what date would y'all like to have? Okay, since everybody
At least
has
3
got an
weeks.
opinion, then why didn't you ask me then?
All right.
There's a $1 million question.
We can
So,
vote on the 26th.
so why not 3 weeks, which is the adequate amount of time you have to put a posting on, it has to go on. It has to go on Indeed, it has to go on LinkedIn. Where do you think you're gonna get these? How are the candidates gonna be made aware of it? A person qualified to do this job is probably busy. So they're just not laying around looking for
Okay,
waiting for a job.
So what date would you advise, Council
21
President?
days would be a fantastic number.
What date would you advise? We need a date to go on.
We
So give
can
me a
vote
date.
on the 26th if that's what you like, Councilman Kershaw.
We need, okay, all I'm saying
Do
is
as
we
do as
need,
you please.
hold on a second, we need 3 dates here. We need a date for when the applications have to be in. We need a date for the interview and a date for the appointment. I need 3 dates from this council. I need 3 dates.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the date? What's the earliest date to be posted?
On the 23rd, in terms of, because it has
Posted on
to
the
be,
23rd, but collect resumes for at least 3 weeks.
well, I wouldn't say 3 weeks if you're still gonna interview because you have to fill it in 30 days. I would say
You
2
can
weeks.
start
with-
interviewing immediately.
2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Because
So
you'd like to
2
fill it within
weeks.
30 days.
Okay, so 2 weeks will put you at,
Day is
it will put you at the 7th.
the 20th,
2 weeks will put you at the 7th.
So,
or the 23rd is the day. It's up to you. You can just say March 7th, or you can say that Friday by the 8th. I mean, it's up to you.
and we have 30 days to fill it, correct?
Correct.
The 30th day is what? Anybody
So
know?
on
23rd
or
of
before March
March.
7th,
I
so the
need 3 dates.
22nd, that'll be
23rd
March
of March.
22nd.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
March 23rd.
March 23rd.
I'm looking at my calendar. I need 3 dates here.
So we have posting on the 23rd. Have it all in by the 9th.
That's a Saturday.
I mean, I'm just saying, so. okay,
Let's say the
all by
8th is a
8th,
Friday.
By the 8th. An interview on,
Is council gonna have a public interview where it takes place? at,
Absolutely. It's got to be public.
A meeting, yes.
It's got to be public.
so
So
when is our meeting?
We
On the
have a
4th
meeting
and the 18th.
on, 4th and the 18th.
I guess unless we're gonna have a special meeting, it's gonna be the 18th for the interview. So here's my question.
Council President, any
Here's my
words?
statement.
Nope, I've hired people before. I know how challenging it is. You guys go for it.
Here's my statement. If we do this before, why I picked that week before, because what happens if somebody, that we get nobody? Or we have to go back out?
Oh, they got some.
I know you don't wanna hear that, I'm just saying, what if we don't get anybody, then we have to put it back out? Just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay. So here's the dates I'm offering.
Okay.
The dates I'm offering, the posting, the 23rd.
Mhm.
Applications in by our next council meeting on the 4th. Appointment on the 18th, and that's where I'm standing.
You should have an
Appointment,
interview.
Problem solved. That's literally 2 council meetings away. Posted on the 23rd. Applications in by the 4th. Appointment on the 18th. We can hold the interview anytime in between that for a special meeting.
Make the motion, Chrissy.
Okay, so I like to make a motion, to set these dates. The posting for February 23rd. Deadline for applications in March 4th. Appointment to the seat, March 18th.
Okay,
So the 11th for a special meeting is probably.
Okay.
I
With-
second.
With all of that, so you're gonna need to restate that motion from the beginning so that we can follow along. We've had a lot of confusing conversations. And my expectation is before we vote on this, again, we're still on item.
I would like
3.
to make a
So,
motion.
hold on, wait.
So let me make this, just so I'm clear. So the 4th, we stopped taking applications, right?
Mhm.
And on the 18th is when we're looking at resumes to pick who we want on the 18th?
No, the 18th is going to be the appointment day, the field seat day. So we can have a special meeting anytime between that day, or we can even have it on the 11th of next week, after the 4th.
He's not giving an interview date, he's just saying that.
Okay. Okay, so allow me to make my motion clear.
Please.
Okay, so now I'm gonna give you 4 days, since you want to be so technical about it.
Let's be thorough.
Posting for the position, February 23rd. Deadline for applications, March 4th. Special meeting for interviews in person, March 11th. Appointment to the seat of treasurer, March 18th of this year, 2024.
We have a second.
I second.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us please call, but do we have that, Madam Clerk?
He had made the motion about the city treasurer, but before you took that vote, you had him put the dates in, so.
So that this is supposed to fill this out. Again, this is, hey, we're building this plane as we fly it. So he made a motion to include this resolution. Okay?
So
And he's
now-
filling out the resolution. He's filling out the language of the resolution by including on this resolution. This is handwritten.
Okay, all
The
right,
posted date of February 23rd,
got it.
collection of resumes by the 4th, special meeting on the 11th, and a posting by the 18th.
Okay. Got it. This first one needs to approve the date that's going to resolution, then we'll approve the resolution.
So,
Is that what now?
so let me,
Or you can do it that way.
all in one?
Or you can do it with the amendment, because it was already.
Yeah, there were spaces
It was
for
the
it.
amendment.
So right now, the motion on the floor is to add the resolution to approve the posting of the position for the city treasurer. In that, we have laboriously spelled out what those criteria are and given dates for how this should proceed. At this point, there's a motion on the floor to amend the agenda, item 3, made by Councilman El Shafi, supported by Council Pro Tem Robinson. If you would be so kind as to call the roll on this item, please.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica, no,
No, so vote now, Ms. Fine.
Okay. I just wanna make sure we're putting those 3 dates in this.
Vote now, Ms.
It's gonna have to be added. to
44.
this, yeah.
4 dates on this piece
Four.
of paper, though, right?
Correct.
Okay, yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries. Are we done with the agenda, or is there anything else? Okay. All right, just want to make sure.
Yeah. I think we are.
Almost an hour for that. Okay, so moving on to item 4, the approval of the proposed minutes. City Council worship. Wait a minute, one second. We're gonna add that in at number 11.
11.
We all good on that?
We're doing both of them at 11, Council President?
I'm sorry?
Both of them gonna be in 11?
That is that's a 2 bird.
Okay,
11 A and B.
This is A and B.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. No, this is the 2 bird. This is this resolution with these dates as a single item.
So you're doing the resolution with the posting, or when you're doing the resolution as A, the posting is B.
I'm doing them both as A.
both of them?
As 11.
As 11. This is A. This is a two-part. A and this is all in one. We approve, there will be no need to approve this resolution if we weren't gonna post these dates. Everybody clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, one supports the other. If we can move into item 4, which is the approval of the minutes, in-person and virtual regular meeting minutes for February the 5th. City Council, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve the proposed minutes in person and virtual regular meeting February 5th, 2024.
You have a second? Chair offers a second.
Discussion.
Floor is open. This is for February 5th. Please proceed.
Let me find it. Okay, the resolution to approve the purchase of the sale of lots at Grand, 18 Grand and West Grand. Did we get some clarity on a 4 vote or does that 3 vote carry?
Where we at?
She's on February 5th. On page
Oh, the meeting?
Page
It
3.
was my understanding that it was fleshed out in the actual document. It was put on the screen and it was fleshed out in the actual document. And we had laboriously gone over this for like 6
Attorney
meetings.
Delphia, do we
Yes.
have clarity?
The clarity was under section 208.10, because you only need 3 for regular property. That was whether or not it was a park or whether or not the property had been used for public purpose. That's when 4 votes would be required. That's the very first sentence. That's in section 208.10. So yes, that was valid.
Thank you.
Further questions? Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll on the approval of the in-person and virtual regular meeting for February 5th?
Councilman Ashafi,
No.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No,
Council President Thomas.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries. Next item is the special meeting, in-person and virtual meeting notes for February 9th, 2024.
Motion to approve?
Have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
second.
Motion on the floor by Councilman Al Shafi, second by Council Pro Tem Robinson. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
This is approve the agenda?
No, just approve the minutes.
Yes.
Councilwoman
No, the special
Manica,
meeting, wait a minute.
This is a special meeting
Yeah.
that was on February 9th. We're taking the roll. Madam Deputy Clerk? Did you have concerns or questions, ma'am?
No, we want to make sure of this distinction between, we had one that was for the 5th, the regular meeting, then we had the
Yes, ma'am. We
one on
just,
the 9th.
we took the vote on that.
Right,
Took the vote on that. That passed.
right.
Unanimously.
So we're on the 9th.
I'm sorry, 3-2. It was her turn. Ms. Martin, you are the person voting. We heard from Mr. Al Shafi. This is on the special meeting minutes for the 9th. If you would please re-answer so that the deputy clerk.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes,
Council President Thomas.
No. Moving on, this is,
You can't.
huh?
You didn't make a motion to approve the amended agenda. You used to approve the amended agenda. If you want to doing that.
Somebody help these people.
We approved 2 changes to the
This ain't one thing, it's
So
another.
we amended the agenda the first time to add the meeting notes. We had a second amendment to the agenda to add this resolution.
So there's not a motion to approve the bill. Agenda.
Thank you very much for that. It's so confusing, so many sidebar conversations. City Council, we need to make sure that we approve the complete agenda with all of these amendments, modifications, and
I
changes.
make a
that took
motion
45
to
minutes.
approve the complete agenda with all of the amendments.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilman El Shafi to approve the amended agenda with all, second from Council Woman Manica. If we could please take the roll on that.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
No.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
can I read something?
No, ma'am, we're taking a vote.
No.
Thank you very much.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, the motion carries.
Martin already made that motion.
Exactly. Okay.
So it's better to be thorough as often as we possibly can. We have had the minutes approved. We've had the agenda approved. We had the agenda amended to the nth degree. Now we're going to move on to the section of this meeting where the mayor addresses the citizens and city council. Madam Mayor, then we'll wait.
I apologize, I'm sorry.
No
Major
problem,
call.
ma'am, please.
I've been sitting here, so I had to run.
Not a problem.
All right, I really don't have much, we're gonna move on. I just want to thank everybody who did send calls, texts, Facebook postings, showing me their love and support for the city, and that's all I have today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an amended agenda moving forward. Item 5 under the city administration, community development, under item 6, finance department under item 7, fire under item 8, recreation under item 9, outside communication under item 10, and the resolution related to the treasurer's office under item 11. This is the time for 2 minutes that a citizen can come to the podium and address anything that is on the agenda for 2 minutes. At the end of the 2 minutes, I'm going to say, thank you very much. And I'm going to ask the next citizen to come up to the podium. Mr. Mark Ashton Price, sir, how are you?
I'm okay. How about yourself, Mr. President?
I am excellent, sir. The floor is yours.
How's everybody doing? Good evening, HP.
Good evening.
I won't take too long because I know it's already running late already. But again, my name is Mark Ashley Price. I'm from the school board. A few things about item 5. I hope the city council does right about the water. That's my first thing. Also, my second point was to thank the council for being the treasurer's, mentioning that the treasurer's position is vacant on the agenda. I used to be on the city charter, so that's like a big deal to me. And some of the other former city charter members are here too. And my last point was about 10B, about the Juneteenth festival. I hope you guys approve that because last year it was a big success. So I hope you guys approve that. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you,
Peace and
sir.
love, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Ms. Ford.
Good evening. I'm confused. So on 5, are you guys going into a closed session or what did you come up with all these amendments and what are we doing with this? Where's it going?
We are.
I'm lost because I thought it was supposed to be amended.
Mhm.
We're going into closed session.
Okay, see, that was never
Well,
said.
tell you what, it's on the agenda to vote on.
So it's gonna be on the agenda to vote on,
Correct.
but I thought it had to be approved.
Those were rescinded.
Oh, okay.
So-
I'm lost. And I know if I'm confused and I'm here every 2 weeks, anybody listening is just as confused. So you're gonna go into a closed session tonight.
We're going to vote.
Vote to go into a closed
Now,
session.
the vote will determine that.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Ford.
Rosalind Martin, I want some clarification on Glenwood, because now I gotta pay water bill. So I want somebody from Glenwood, the lawyers or somebody to talk to us about what the heck is going on. I don't want to hear from Robert Davis. I want to know from Glenwood what's going on. And if this is gonna affect our charter, we need to know. That means you guys need to change something, or we need to move to Glenwood or something.
Somebody gonna answer? That's not good.
This is citizens' participation. This is not city council dialogue. For council affairs, council will have an opportunity to make note of your questions and then to answer those questions in an expository way. Good evening, ma'am. How are
Good
you?
evening. I'm fine. I'm Charlene Turner Johnson, Highland Park resident for 54 years. I'm making a comment on a letter. The Highland Park Water Advocates sent a letter by email to all of the city council members stating that we urge you to approve the settlement agreement with Gleewa. Not sure that all of you received it. I didn't get a reply from all of you. But given that the settlement agreement is changing and we don't know what it is, we don't know what the conditions are, we don't know what the capacity of the city is to fulfill the conditions, we don't know what the costs may be to the residents of the city. I'm here to say that that letter that we sent, and it sounds like you agree, that letter that we sent is not applicable at this particular time until we know what the conditions are, what the capacity of the city is to handle the conditions, and what the costs may be to the residents. We rescind the letter that we sent.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Ms. Fry. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, how do you vote on something that you first got 8 pages and now you got 300 pages in a couple of days? So how do you vote on that? I appreciate your questions. I understand the closed meeting and all that kind of stuff. But the question is, I was reading, why is Miss Washington, I don't know, or will be observing the council meeting? That's one question. And another question is, how much do we pay Gleewa a month or the water department a month for Highland Park? How much do we pay a month to the water department or Gleewa? Can that be answered tonight before it's over with? And the properties next door to, are the properties at the rec center next door to the rec center, or do they go with the rec center? And if the rec center don't want them anymore, are they allowed to sell them? Do you all write these questions down and try to answer them later, or you just
Yes,
listen?
I do.
Oh, okay, okay.
I write down
All right,
everything.
good meeting.
I see no more citizens approaching the podium, so we will move. Thank you very much, those of you who came forward to speak. So we will move right into the next portion of the agenda. This is item 5 under city administration. City council, what is your pleasure?
I move to go into a closed session to discuss the settlement with Great Lakes Water Authority.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica to go into closed session to discuss the settlement with the Great Lakes Water Authority. Chair offers a second. Any discussion on that item? The motion that's on the floor.
Right. Discussion.
Yes, ma'am, please go right
So
ahead.
after this closed session, and when we come back out, what's gonna happen?
That is unknown. It depends on whatever the members want to do. Whatever action you decide to take or not is up to the members. Additional questions?
Yeah, is Gleewa here today?
No.
Are
Let's
they
see.
here?
Anybody from Gleewa want, anybody
I
from the
mean-
Great Lakes Water Authority want to raise their hand to be
I
recognized?
doubt that.
They
Okay.
were so nice to drop off the new King James version. I thought they would be here in person.
Yeah. So,
So nice to give us a new version of the King James Bible.
so with that being said, do we have any additional questions? Right now, the motion on the floor is to go into the closed session to hear from our attorneys as it relates to this brick that was dropped on our desk Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Got it Friday.
Would you please call the roll on going into closed session,
You
ma'am?
didn't get one.
Councilman-
When I got mine, his was still
Councilman
there.
Shafi,
You hear me?
We're taking a vote on going into closed session.
Councilwoman Martin,
No.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes. So we are not going into closed session, so that means we move straight on to the resolution to approve the contract and settlement with the Great Lakes Water Authority.
And I'd like to add that there is no resolution.
Correct. So this went down
There's
3-2.
There's no B.
There's no,
Yeah.
there's no
You should've-
resolution because the
you should've
legal
noticed it in your
department did not
packet,
have an
or the
adequate
lack thereof.
opportunity to review it. We needed more time.
Right, reading is
So then
fundamental.
why don't we just be?
Well, it's done the way,
Schedule this a deadline.
it's done a certain way for a certain
Yeah,
reason.
but
Yep.
everything has been a deadline. And
Everything is a
everything hasn't
deadline,
shown
yeah.
up. What you mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So item 5A is finished. We're moving on to item 5B, resolution to approve the contract and settlement with the Great Lakes Water Authority. City Council, what's your pleasure?
We already moved.
No, that's on item A. Right now, hold on a second. Let me just, because we've had a very laborious evening already. Let me just reiterate this and you guys can do what you choose. For item 5B, there's a resolution to approve contract and settlement with the Great Lakes Water Authority. City Council, what's your pleasure?
Closed session. They could vote whatever way they want.
But there's no resolution.
If we have no resolution, I'll make a motion.
They make motions.
Point of information.
Point of information, yes, Ms. Manica?
I know that we're on B.
Yep.
Can I make a motion different?
Well,
Can I make a
no,
motion differently and change
so
this?
you'll be altering the agenda. And what happens if there is nothing done on item B, it is dead on arrival.
Right, I understand that. So I guess my question is. That's okay, I guess I can. I don't want to do anything to B, but I wanted to make a motion. Even though it's not.
I got a motion to approve with discussion. I want to discuss it. I got a motion to approve with discussion.
What are we approving?
Exactly.
There's no resolution.
You could do an oral
You
motion.
just asked us
Correct.
to approve the contract.
Yeah, and I just asked a
So
question.
if we're going to approve the contract, I want to approve with discussion.
Okay, that's fair game. It's fair game. There's a motion on the floor from Councilman El Shafi. Yes.
There is no resolution.
It does
But he
not
could
matter.
do it
He just
orally.
said,
He
moving
could do
to
oral
approve
motion.
the contract with the Great Lakes Water Authority.
Correct.
Okay, so if we're going to move to approve or not approve, I want to approve with discussion.
It's within his purview to do
We
that.
are here to discuss this Bible and we're going to discuss it tonight.
It's within his purview to do that. All he needs is support for it to come out on the floor.
Support.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman El Shafi to approve this measure with support from Councilwoman Martin.
So here's the discussion.
We're on the floor right now. Ms. Manica, you want to be recognized first?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
please, go right ahead.
So here's the discussion. We're gonna approve something, or we're going to discuss it.
Mike, please.
We're going to discuss it. Who are we going to discuss it with?
No, this is
First
not
of
the
all,
city,
I'm
this is
talking to
city council.
4 other city council members who need to be addressing the issue with 4 city council members and lawyers. So again, I'm asking, who are we gonna discuss it with? Because nobody on the other side can make any decision.
And you don't have to sign it. We have to sign it.
So,
We are
that's my-
bound by this. You're
I'm
not.
saying nothing.
The point taken. But I'm saying if all these resolutions have to be signed by us, we're on the hook. We either hang together or we hang individually. And that's the point we're trying to make with the idea of having the closed session so we can have information to present to you, because none of you on the other side of that piece of wood are on the hook for this.
Okay.
We are.
So
No, I'm talking about on the decision. We all on, anybody with a house that's got water coming into it, you're on the hook for that water bill.
So Council President, I love how I made the motion, but Ms. Manica got to speak first. I found that interesting.
Then forgive me for that. We're all talking together.
Okay.
We're all talking
Okay,
together. I
so-
defer to the lady. I'm responsible for that.
So I want to use their words in their Bible right now. If you look under
we have not,
Exhibit B,
we have not voted to bring it on the floor. I'm sorry. I'm
So we
checking.
moved and she had support with discussion.
Forgive me. Go ahead, Mr. El Shafi. The floor is yours. There's a whole lot going on up here and I'm trying to keep, I'm playing goalie and
okay,
y'all playing with the ball. I'm playing goalie. You are correct. The floor is yours. Take it away.
okay, so in their Bible here, and I get it. You dropped this in our lap 4 days ago, 250 pages. And I just assumed that you thought that my nappy-headed butt wouldn't read it. Think again. You're sadly mistaken. So, according to their Bible here, in Exhibit B, 5.1, the city and Eagle agree and may grant the city a reasonable extension for specific deadlines set forth in this ACA. To obtain an extension, the city may submit written requests to appropriate Eagle District Supervisor, DWEHD and WRD at the address in paragraph 6.1, no later than 10 business days prior to deadline, and shall include, et cetera, et cetera. So using their words, you dropped this off 4 days ago to us. In this dossier, in this manifesto, I mean, where is Mussolini at? Okay, in this manifesto you dropped off to us, they cited at least 60 MCA rules that we have to look up and research with the state. And we had to do all that in 4 days. No way that was going to happen in that time frame. Okay, and then I don't know if you remember, but in December, we approved an amendment term sheet, which brings up the matter of this trust account. And in this trust account, in Section F, oh, Section F, baby, oh, Section F is a mother jumper. Woo, Lord, Lula May Bell. Okay, oh, hold on a second. I apologize, not Section F, Section E. Okay. In this agreement here, in this trust agreement, which makes me question, if we're reading this now, I know the state has read this. And for this to be the way that it is, I'm greatly offended and disappointed in both Gliwa and the state. This here trust agreement states in so many words, they take your money, you get nothing. They dole out to you what they want you to have when they're finished. No mention of what it's going to cost in all of this grand, whatever this is. In all of this, no mention of pricing, no mention of expenses, no mention of service fees. Now, none of this is in here, but you best believe that you're going to be hit with every single bit. So my question is, what is it costing us? What are the service fee charges? What are the penalty charges? And why don't we have access to our money? You're going to take the entire account under your control, under your preview, and then tell me, I'll give you, boy, what I want you to have. I'll give you, boy, what I want you to have. Now, I find it funny that Glee was not here. I mean, after all, I was looking forward to them coming through the door with their appointed sheets. Because that's how it feels here. It feels like a boot is being put on the neck of this Black community. Now, I appreciate what's being done here to try to help us out. But that doesn't mean you get to bend me over the barrel afterwards.
Can we please work on decorum?
Fair treatment must be across the board. Fair treatment must be across the board, and we have not received that. We got this Bible 4 days ago. And even though I read through it thoroughly, it only left me with 1 million more questions and 1 million more answers that I don't have. So you're asking me to make an informed decision in 4 days on 250 pages. I find that unacceptable. I think it's a slap in the face. I think we deserve better. I think an extension should have automatically been given more than 4 days when they slapped it on our table. Because in case you were unaware, they were expecting us to vote on this on the 15th after they voted on it on the 14th. They didn't even want to give us the 4 days. I believe that the 4 days was compliments of Judge Gresham, right? I thought so. Thank you for those 4 days. Okay. So in 4 days, we had to read that, get all the information that we possibly could, get all the understanding that we possibly could, which was literally impossible. It literally reads like stereo instructions. Yeah. But I'm not slow and I'm not stupid. I know when I'm being taken advantage of. So I have an issue here. And I believe that we need more time to investigate this document, to get a better understanding of what's being done. If we're going to sign away our lives, we can at least get the right to know what we sign away. And that's all I have to say.
Before we go on, I see your hand, Madam Pro Tem. Let me remind the members of City Council, whether or not you've read this book or not, members have an opportunity to address an issue on the floor twice during any discussion, twice. Okay, for up to 10 minutes. Twice only. Madam Pro Tem, please, would you?
I just want to state for the record that I work for the citizens of Highland Park because I am a citizen of Highland Park. And this truly affects me as well.
Dad, is it candy top of that
Can
bag?
we get excuse me, Ms. Lotz, your audio is wide open. Thank you. Go right ahead, man.
And I also wanted to state that in this 250 something, whatever you want to call it from Gleewood, it states that Highland Park has not been in compliance with anything that they have asked us to do. And I would like to sit and talk with someone from Gleewood. I've been trying to do that for the past 6 months. They won't even come to talk to us because I was told that they weren't ready. When will they be ready? We demand to sit and talk with Gleewood. Thank you.
Okay, additional comments on this? I don't hear any additional comments, so I'll offer.
No,
You do? You do? Go ahead, say it, get it out.
It was a point of discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure what we discussed.
Yep, I know.
Because it sounds like we just wanted to tell the residents something.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that could have been done after we sat and talked to the lawyers to ask them a few questions, because it might have been something that they could have told us in there that we would have came out and said something may be different, or if we had an extension. I don't know if we have one or don't, because I haven't talked to a lawyer. So I'm still at the discussion, and I keep asking that. So it's not about that don't want to say anything to you guys, residents. It's the timing and the place that you want to put it in. Because all of that could have been said after we had a closed session. So at the end of the day, we still have not talked to the lawyers who helped mediate this whole situation, to talk to the people that got the expertise, or at least the information to go through this and answer maybe some of your questions, because they have to go through it and get the answers. So when do we now talk to the lawyer?
It should have been 5.
Okay, no, ma'am, we just had a comment. You had the floor. You asking for the
Should've
floor
been 5
again?
years ago.
Okay, should have been. So I'm gonna offer my comment and then we're gonna move to the vote. So, nobody in this room would allow somebody with no experience in the drill to work on your teeth. There's not a single woman sitting in this room that would allow a person with no experience to do your hair. There's nobody in this room. Excuse me, you were quiet when everybody else was talking. It's very telling that you're talking now that I'm talking. There's nobody in this room would allow a sick relative to be tended to by an untrained medical professional. Nobody. I wouldn't let somebody fix my car before I went on a road trip with my family. None of us would allow someone who didn't have professional experience to do anything in any other aspect of our life.
Can we call for the vote?
Excuse me, ma'am. When everybody else was talking, did you notice how quiet I was? That is very telling how rude you are. It's very telling how rude the audience is when I'm speaking. No, it's very telling how rude the audience is when I'm speaking. That's very telling. It's very telling. I thought these were citizens. These sounds like cheerleaders for a particular issue. I'm making a statement. Mr. Al-Shafi spoke uninterrupted. The audience didn't say anything. Ms. Manica spoke uninterrupted and the audience didn't say anything. Madam Pro Tem spoke and the audience didn't say anything. Did you guys get together before you came here to decide that you were going to interrupt when the council president was talking? I'm making a point related to the item that's on the floor. None of us would allow an untrained professional to care for our baby. Nobody in here. So the question was, like Ms. Manica raised, which is very telling. It's very telling and it's very rude. It's very telling and it's very rude that you didn't take the time to speak when anybody else was talking. It's very poignant. And I'm asking a question. What's so ironic is I am in support of what Mr. Al-Shafi is saying, but you're so hell-bent on offending me that you didn't even let me get that out. I am in support of what Ms. Robinson is saying, but you people got your notes before you got here, so you hell-bent on screaming at me. I'll make my point. I will make my point. I will make my, there you go. I will make my point. I will make my point. It's very telling. I am in support of what they said tonight. We don't agree on very much, but I am in support of what they're saying. And the point that I raise is none of us would allow an untrained professional to come in and do anything in any other aspect of our life. And we should have at least taken the opportunity to hear from the attorneys. We don't know what information they could have provided to us that could have been conveyed to you. It's very telling how rude people in this audience are. It's very telling. It's very, very telling. Here I am saying to you, I am in support of what they're saying. I absolutely support their position. But I got an education tonight. Thank you very much. I recognize and remember all the faces. Can we go ahead and call for the roll on this thing? Mr. El-Shafi, this is your second iteration. Go right ahead.
I know. Council President, I would like to rescind my vote for approval.
So wait a minute. We had all of this discussion and you're pulling it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's essential to, if you allow me to finish.
Go ahead.
I would like to rescind my vote for approval. And I would like to make another motion to approve with amendments and a presentation from Gleewood. They come here, they talk to us, they explain this document to us, and after they have done that, we can approve.
So Mr. El-Shafi, it sounds
amendments
like
that
the
need to be
most
made in
effective
this.
way to do that is to table it so that they have to come. It will be tabled until they appear. That seems like the most effective way to do it because it puts the onus on them. It doesn't put it on us.
Legal, can we table this?
You started a motion.
It's council's pleasure.
It's council's pleasure. You're
Okay.
the author of the motion. It would have died on the table if you didn't bring it to the floor.
Okay.
You brought it to the floor. We've discussed it. Now the floor is open for you to do whatever you want on item 5B.
But
Okay.
he withdrew the motion, but someone supported it.
That was supported by Councilwoman.
They withdrawn their support and then you
Martin.
can.
You need to withdraw your support.
I withdraw my support.
Thank you very much. We are on item 5 under the city administration.
So he.
For item B, the resolution to approve the
Council
contract. and
President,
He
settlement.
had a new motion.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting. I
I'm
want him
about
to
to now.
officially table it.
Council President.
Please.
If it's possible, can we table this matter and give Gleewood time to come to us, give us a full presentation? I know there's a deadline on it, but they have given us so much in such a short amount of time. I can't see us not getting an opportunity to further study this document, this manifesto that they don't put before.
The floor is
We
open,
need
Mr.
more
Ashafi.
time.
Just make the motion and we'll get it going.
So I would like to make a motion to table this item and ask Gleewood to come to the next meeting.
Hold on.
Hold on a second.
Just, yes.
Do you mind?
Judge Rashid, if you would,
Point of personal privilege, if you don't mind.
please go right ahead, sir.
Take the mic.
I just want to make a suggestion.
Mhm.
Okay, and it truly is nothing but a suggestion. Because I believe to my core that we have to try and find a way to work this out. We are very,
Mhm.
okay, and I understand the concern that you have
Mhm.
about getting a large document like this delivered with such short notice
Mhm.
requesting a vote, which is why I went back and tried to extend the time.
Right.
Rather than, demand that somebody show up, and I'm saying this as the mediator on these cases that are still in litigation.
Mhm.
And candidly, what I learned from 18 years as a circuit judge and former chief judge in the county of Wayne, and 20 years as a mediator is you can't discuss these kinds of settlement terms in public. It doesn't do anybody any good. Which is why I think it might be productive, and I understand why the concern of the citizenry that, things are being kept from you. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. Nobody's trying to hide anything from you. But we got a lot of details here that, a lot of this stuff was negotiated in great detail and wording and everything else. That's why it's so long. That's why it's so involved. But we went through hours and hours working through all this. And my one regret is maybe I should have stayed more involved when they were doing the final paper. But honestly, I thought we had we were so far along that I thought it was going to come together. Well, unfortunately, here we are today. And I would hate to see it just get uglier as it's getting with what's going on today. So I'm begging you, maybe, again, I don't want to take a mediation into a public forum. I've just learned doing it too many years. It's not helpful. It's just not, and it does more harm than good. Which is why I don't know if you want to do it, but would you consider just going into a private session just for a few minutes maybe, so I can explore some of this stuff with you and maybe try to keep this on a path, keep the dialogue going as opposed to the whole thing falling apart. And I don't want to mislead anybody. I can't guarantee that I'm going to find a solution. But my theory is you never know unless you try. And I always tell people, I'll die trying. So please let me try.
Ms. Bergen, is it too late for closed session?
We voted it down.
Well,
You have to motion it back on the floor.
I move we now.
Wait.
reconsider.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Hold on a second.
We're at item 5
Okay, hold on a second.
under
And-
city administration,
And I did make a motion.
and you rescinded it. So
All
now
right,
the floor is
right.
the neutral at this point.
Temporarily rescind that motion.
We voted on item A. Item A is done. You have to make a new motion.
My motion is I move we now reconsider our action relative to the new information given to us that we should go into a closed session to discuss the settlement with our lawyers.
Support.
So you'd have to, right now, we have to undo item A.
No, I made a motion to reconsider our action. So isn't that already?
Okay, so then we have to vote. We have to get this on to reconsider.
Yes.
Then we have to remove that vote. So we have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica to reconsider Item A, closed session.
Is reconsideration. Is this reconsideration?
I support it already, Council President.
We'll take that. We have a motion on the floor to reconsider the closed session from Councilwoman Manica. It's been seconded by Councilman El Shafi. Sufficient. Everybody on city council understand where we're going with this? Everybody clear on what we're doing now? We are reconsidering going into closed session. We have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica, seconded by Councilman El Shafi. We clear?
Yes.
Madam Deputy Clerk, if you would call the roll on the reconsideration of going into closed session.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
No.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into closed session. No, we don't to go into closed session. Get you one of these.
Is it 4 or 3?
3. Not to go in closed session. Show me in the book, ma'am.
Get the book out.
No, you show me.
Hey. The super majority for you guys is 4.
We'll wait.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Let me see, I am looking.
I know Robert. You guys better look it up. I'm serious. Ask, look at his book.
It is 4.
He's wrong.
It's 4.
It's 4. It's 4 all day.
Well, I guess if we can't read the book. I wasn't looking.
It's 4. I'm telling you, ask your lawyer.
Y'all can get them to go back there.
I'm looking at it. It's just the majority. I'm looking at it. And I'm not gonna continue to talk. I'm doing it, that I did not come to your meeting and I listened to your meeting. So I did not come to yours and correct you. But I am definitely looking at Robert Rules of Order on my laptop and it's the majority.
For closed session.
For what I made a motion.
Oh, for reconsideration.
Majority.
It's a reconsideration, but it's still a closed session.
Ms. Delfino, what is it?
It's separate from. Yeah, they did vote to reconsider it, and then you got to vote to go in. You're going to go in.
Okay.
Where did he go? No, don't jump the gun. Council President got to come back. Oh, okay. Oh, my God. So it's a motion for reconsideration, but it's 4 to go into closed session. I never heard it.
It's 2/3, right, Ms. Burton?
I thought we can go in and go in.
Thirds all day.
Yeah, you know what we always have had? They can see 4. Think it is for closed session.
No. But this is just a vote to reconsider. We didn't vote on the closed session. I don't know where he going.
Yeah, we still got to vote on the closed session. So it stands as for the reconsider, but not to go in. Closed session. I don't see.
It was 10 days. Kind of, they said, yeah, it was 10 days.
Now you got to vote to go into closed session. I can't find it. Y'all want to
Sean, I am not so.
I'm trying to find out from John, you know, we never do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my throat hurting. I will when I get home. When you laugh, I don't hate. Hey, Stan, you get on my nerves. Really? Maybe this year. Only this year. Only this year. Okay, I'll give you a top five. Not the worst. This ain't the worst.
You need. So we voted, the reconsideration motion was sufficient. The reconsideration motion.
And it's not gonna, why we go through this last thing for the last hour, like, this is circle jerk.
It's okay, it's okay, that is this is our government at work. This is our government at work. So I got the information, I got some confirmation that I needed, I had a chance to take a look at that. So City Council, it is your pleasure. How we proceed in this meeting is your pleasure as the council chair, council president and as the chair. I'm supposed to officiate the meeting. I don't make any decisions. I don't even make motions.
Okay, so
We are
I
at the
move
mercy
to go.
of the members. Go right ahead.
Mr. Chairman, forgive me again, if you don't mind, may I speak? I know I'm breaking your rules, so I apologize for that.
No one cares about the rules.
I was a county commissioner way back.
Mhm.
I remember going through this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, the point is, I'm trying to explore whether I can get everybody back together at the mediation table on Tuesday. A week from today. Okay. And if I can, I guess I'd say, I think it's worth a try. As I said earlier, you never know unless you try. So I would like to try to see if we can keep this on track. Because, you know, despite the concerns that you have, and I understand, but there are a lot of very positive things in this agreement. And we don't want to lose sight of those things. You know, we're wiping out about $57 million of debt that the city of Highland Park has. 24 million of that plus is already in the form of a judgment that our Court of Appeals has said, you gotta pay. And there's another 30-some million coming on another case, which we're wiping out. So that's pretty important. That's a real significant benefit to the city of Highland Park. And going forward, you know, there's a whole lot more money that's gonna be coming in for infrastructure to improve the system here. And that's another real significant benefit to the city. It puts you on a path going forward. So, and we're putting in meters, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of this. So, just let me try, please, let me try to see if I can help you with this. And again, I can't guarantee anything, but I just, don't vote this down. Give me the chance to see if I can help nail this down and resolve your concerns and your concerns. And I very much appreciate you allowing me to speak. I know it's out of order, but.
It's par for the course, Judge,
Well,
especially with me in this chair. It's par for the course.
well, no, again, I appreciate it, I really do. And I hope you all understand where I'm coming from and why I'm making these impassioned speeches. Because I just believe to my core that we have to find a way to solve this. We have to find a way. And I think we're this close. We just have to address some of these issues. Anyway, thank you, Jen, for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Manica, you had the floor. We were on item 5 under the city administration. We had a reconsideration for the closed session. At this point, Chair will be willing to entertain any motion on action moving forward.
It is, so the new motion is I move to go into closed session to discuss, for the discussion of the settlement with the lawyers.
Okay, so
for
item,
Great Lakes Water Authority Agreement section.
so we had item A that is finished. We said no. We had item B that came on the floor. It was a motion to support it and to approve it. We had 35 minutes of dialogue on item B, and it was eventually rescinded. Now, all under item 5, we have a motion on the floor, a new motion to reconsider a closed session. Madam Clerk, would you please call?
No, we
No, I'm
already
sorry.
reconsidered.
This is-
Now you
this
gotta
is-
vote whether or not to go into.
Exactly. So now we're voting on the closed session. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on going into closed session? Chair supports.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
No.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, we're back to square one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just exercised an hour of dialogue for no productive outcome.
Definitely need a full
And
vote.
that is, this is your government at work. All those people in the
Okay,
audience
come on.
screaming
Let's
at
just
me.
get the
This is
next-
your government at
let's
work.
go to the
Moving on
next
to item 5, under community development, resolution to approve the option to purchase and the sale of the commercial.
No, I'm saying that we don't have.
We don't have nothing. Under item 6, community development. Resolution to approve the option to purchase and the sale of commercial lot and building located at 12024 Woodward Avenue to JAKM Holdings LLC, the optionee, should the option to purchase be timely exercised by the optionee. City Council, what is your pleasure on item 6? For the closed session, apparently, that's talking to 3 lawyers.
Point of information,
Ma'am?
did it pass or not?
No, we
And
did
it
not.
Did not pass because?
Apparently we need 4 votes for close. Now, we've never needed closed session votes for 4 before.
So why are we listening to them if we don't do that?
Yeah, because we've always voted, agreed to go. in closed
Everybody's
session.
agreed
Never been an issue.
unanimously.
We've always had unanimous votes to go in. But we don't have that.
This is your government at work. So on item 6,
I think someone needs to find it. This doesn't make any sense.
that's the point. I think that's the point, to make sure that it doesn't make any sense.
We didn't table anything.
No,
We didn't table anything yet, Council
so
President.
item 5 came and went. We're on item 6. Item 5 came and went.
No, it did not. We didn't finish
What
item
action do we,
5.
what do we take action on?
We didn't finish the contract. Okay, we didn't vote it up
Mr.
or vote
Al-Shafi,
it down,
you made a
and we didn't
motion, and
table
then
it.
you removed your support. So what do we? vote on?
Exactly. So, which means I was about to say, and then Ms. Manica said, well, let's reconsider the closed session. So I said I would temporarily hold my motion for her to reconsider the closed session.
You withdrew your motion.
I said I would temporarily hold my motion for her to do the closed session.
You withdrew. So you said I withdraw. The support was withdrawn by Ms. Martin. Then there was an audible motion that was made by Ms. Manica.
We did not vote on item 5 of 5B. We didn't vote on it.
There was no motion and no support for anything to vote on, Mr. Al-Shafi.
Because I was waiting on Ms. Manica to finish what she was doing for the closed session. She wanted to hold up a second for the closed session. We need to vote on this.
What are we voting on? There's no resolution to sign. There's nothing to
Oh my
vote
God.
on.
Here we are back down the same line, man.
So what are we voting on?
You
please
just
hold
said,
it up to show us what we're voting on.
oh my God.
Just show us the resolution.
This contract right here is what we're voting on. You
know.
just said, well, we need to vote to approve or vote this down.
No, sir.
So which one is it gonna be?
Discuss it. If I'm not mistaken, you said I want to discuss
gotta be
it. So you
joking,
made a motion
You
to
can't
bring it
just
on
skip
the
over
floor.
item 5.
Okay. You made the motion to bring it on the floor, sir. There's no resolution. You made the motion to, and you said, I want to discuss it.
I do not care. You can't just move away from item 5.
We will.
We have to deal with it.
What are we doing? Help me understand what we're doing.
So I like to make a motion
to do what?
For 5B, for 5B to approve with amendments.
Mr. Al-Shafi, you brought that on the floor. We discussed it for 35 minutes.
And we never voted on it.
Then you rescinded your support.
We never voted on it, sir.
Ms. Martin rescinded her support as well. And then we moved on to another motion on the floor.
We only rescinded because we wanted to reconsider the closed session. That was the only reason it was rescinded.
So where we at?
So it's still got to be dealt with.
His motion, you have to entertain his motion.
So since we didn't act, so tell me what we're voting on again. Tell me what your motion is. Tell me what we're gonna do.
His motion for approval is on the floor. You get support up and down.
So let's
Motion
do it
for
again.
approval with amendments.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve the resolution to approve the contract and settlement with the Great Lakes Water Authority.
With
With
amendments.
information, no, we did rescind. Clerk, somebody needs to back up and read the minutes. Because I believe we did rescind.
Okay.
I believe we did. And so therefore it would be able to be tabled if necessary. But
Exactly. And then you came in with, let's reconsider the closed session. And I said, let's put everything on hold until after that vote.
so
I clearly said, I will temporarily hold my motion until we consider your closed session again.
absolutely.
That's exactly what I said.
So let's go.
So it's still here on the table.
So I don't,
It's still here.
Say, listen, can we please, point of information, have the clerk go back and reread those minutes?
It's too
No, because I don't have anything to reread. I'm where you are. He's, we're at approve with amendments.
No,
We would have to go back and,
we have to go back to.
no, I don't have that in writing.
I believe it was rescinded and it's a new motion on the floor.
Because she had to rescind support, remember?
Yes.
Right, but there's a new motion.
His motion, and then my motion was the new one. My motion was the reconsideration. So everything was rescinded.
You cut in.
That's why he's saying it's a new motion. He's
Exactly.
renewing that
I was
motion.
just about to make a new motion when you cut in with your, let's reconsider the closed session. Now, everybody's sitting here hearing this. So I waited. I stopped and I waited because I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to seem like I was pushing you around and what you were trying to do. So I said, well, let's reconsider the closed session then. So I stopped in the middle of my motion for your closed session.
Thank you.
So you're gonna renew your motion, Councilman?
Yes, I would like to renew my motion. And you know what? It's just a hot mess. But the bottom line is we cannot afford not to have this deal at the moment. We can't afford it. The city is finished without it. So knowing that, if I gotta eat a little bit of crow as a result of that, I might as well put some butter on it and call it a day. Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to approve the contract between the city of Highland Park and the Great Lakes Water Authority, and that's my motion.
You cannot make a motion to approve a contract we didn't read.
Who didn't read?
You don't even.
Who didn't read this?
Don't even.
So you telling me I can't make my motion?
You can make your motion.
All right then.
Okay, you make your motion. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, then y'all voted up or you voted down, but it's not going to be on me.
That's his
You can
motion.
explain to them why they gotta get out their damn houses now.
I'm not with no.
Explain that to them.
Okay, let's go back.
Explain it to them. I already got a motion on the floor, and that's the motion I put out.
Point of order. And then I'm gonna say point of information. So we don't have to support this motion. That's the first thing. Secondly, I'm gonna be honest.
Please.
Please. Well, I can't be you. Well, it's not my fault. I'm sorry, it's the mic. I am talking into the mic. Thank you very much.
We're not talking to the rest of us now.
Thank you.
Can somebody move this podium thing?
No, go ahead, Ms. Bannigan, what were you saying?
I was saying that no one has given him a support.
Well, they
So you
started
don't
talking,
have to-
he started talking before.
No one gave him a support.
There's motion
They
on the
just
floor from
talking.
Councilman Al-Shafi. We have not heard support. If anybody wants to offer support to Ms.
No one has
Bannigan's
offered
point.
Y'all do your thing. I've done what I'm supposed to do.
It is
So,
incumbent upon us to
just-
read these documents before we sign away your lives. It is incumbent upon us to read these documents before we sign away your lives.
No support.
1 minute has
Is
passed.
there another?
Right, so we can put another motion on the floor?
No. It's got to
Since
die
I've heard
first.
no support and with ample time, I would consider
But
that
what
dead on the
happens if it
floor.
dies?
There has been no support offered. That is, the motion has died on the floor.
Okay,
We will
so I
move
want to
on
make a
item 6.
motion to table item number 5.
This is your copy.
I can support that, Ms. Martin. Y'all ain't gonna vote on it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you know, I can support that. Okay, what's a little bit more discussion? Okay, what's a little bit more discussion? Hell, you know?
What are we doing? We have a motion on the floor to table item 5.
Yep, and I just supported it.
Support from Mr. Al-Shafi. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll?
Since y'all won't vote on it.
Councilman Ashafi?
Yeah.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Why not take the sure thing?
I asked a question. I don't think anybody heard me.
Ma'am, if you would please, your question.
If it died for lack of support,
It died for lack of support.
That was a different motion to die from lack of support. Councilwoman Martin, she had a separate motion.
To table the item.
Councilman Ashafi, his motion died for her, or failed, for lack of
support.
support. But she had a new motion that he supported.
Vote is on.
Councilwoman Manica? To table.
Able to see y'all can discuss with these people.
yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, item 5 has been tabled. Moving on to item 6 under the community development, this is the resolution to approve the option to purchase and the sale of commercial lot and building located at 1224 Woodward Avenue to JAKM Holdings LLC as an optionee. Should the option to purchase be timely exercised by the optionee? City Council, what is your pleasure on item 6?
I want to make a motion to approve the resolution to approve option to purchase and sell of commercial lot and building located at 12024 Woodward Avenue to JAKM Holding LLC.
Seconded by the chair. So we have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Martin to approve the resolution for the option he purchased. Made by Councilwoman Martin, seconded by the chair. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll? Discussion. We have discussion from Council Pro Tem.
Absolutely.
Page 13 of this. And I know that Mr. Johnson has been waiting for quite some time, and I really want to approve this for him. But on page 13, development agreement between the city of Highland Park and the holding LLC. Go to page 14, 1.7, where it says the building department. Am I to understand that the building department is safe built? Can somebody answer
He
that?
left the room here from Mr. Carlson.
Is
Good
it-
evening, good evening, residents, good
is the
evening,
building
council.
department safe built?
Yes,
So to
Um,
my understanding, September of 2023,
Mhm.
his contract was ended.
correct.
So
Not
what's
before.
going on with that?
We have to go to bid, we have to rebid it out, but for this, I understand your concern, and it needs to be rebidded out. So that means we have to draft RFP and send it out. But for this resolution, it only deals with the option to purchase. The development agreement is not what's being signed. Right now, it's just the option to purchase. Let me see if she's done with hers. You see what I'm looking at? So the option to purchase is pages 1, 2, and 3 with the exhibits. And the exhibit is just what the draft of the development agreement would look like.
So he's going to purchase it and sit on it until we get a building department person.
No.
That's what it sounds like to me.
So what the option to purchase is, they get 6 months to do their due diligence to get the finances, and then we go into the process of site plan approval and everything. Like, then we execute the purchase agreement, development agreement, then we go into the site plan review, which requires building department.
Has he satisfied your question, Madam Pro Tem?
No. Go ahead, proceed.
Mr. Al Shafi?
Okay, so, 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
The building next door to us,
Correct.
have we checked to see if the status for the Historical Preservation Society has been lifted on that building?
From my understanding that it has.
Okay. 2, I'm under the impression, and if my memory serves me correctly, when you were on this council, requirement to purchase land from the city on Woodward Avenue, it required the bid process.
That's if the mayor chooses.
That's if the mayor chooses.
Correct.
So when we did that to everybody else, that was all fine and dandy, but we're going to skirt that process for this individual.
The mayor has the ability to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got this document here with your name is nowhere on it, but Ty Hinton's name is all over this document. Ty's not here anymore.
Mhm.
And his picture, his driver license picture is expired back in 2023. I mean, how old is this application?
Since 2022.
Okay, it is gonna have to be redone, sir. I'm sorry.
Not a problem.
Yeah,
That's
I can't give a green light for that. Okay, that's almost 3 years ago. A new application should have been done for the new CED director, for the new council, and for the new administration. I'm sorry. So that's gonna be a no for me.
Any additional questions?
No, I don't have a question, I have a statement.
Hmm?
So therefore, anybody who has I'm asking Mr. Shanti, is this what you're saying? Anybody who has previously put in an application before we hire anybody new, gonna have to start that process. all
It's been
over
sitting
again?
there, Ms. Manica, for 2 years.
Okay.
2.5 years.
Question still stands.
The 2.5 years, and his ID is expired though.
Okay, my question still stands.
And then again, I wanted to point out the fact that anybody else who's bossed up and on Woodward, we put them through a totally different process. But here we are once again, altering the rules to fit somebody else.
Well, you
Okay, you open the door.
Point of order,
Hold on
we
a
have
second.
motion
All I'm
on the
simply saying,
floor For the
all I'm
approval of
simply
item
saying
6
is
under
this.
community, let's make sure
All-
that we're on point.
Okay,
We have
all
a
I'm
motion on the
simply
floor.
saying is this right here. You set the precedent, now you want to alter it.
No, I did not set the
You can't keep doing
preference.
that.
I didn't set the preference.
Whoever set the precedent,
Just-
hold a second, come to think of it,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Clyburn, you were council president, you did set that precedent.
This ordinance was done in 2018.
Okay.
I took office in 2020.
Okay, all right.
Well,
Well,
let's
That was
move on to
precedent-
before me.
Madam
I
Deputy Clerk.
can cite at least
Madam Deputy Clerk.
3 to 4 developments
Mhm.
on Woodward Avenue that had to go out for bid. So why are we, I mean, and this is right in between, this is right next door to City Hall.
Mhm.
That land is valuable, okay? And for what you're looking to sell it for is unacceptable. And the fact that it hasn't been put out to bid is unacceptable. Everybody should be given a fair shake. That's all I'm saying.
Per the ordinance,
Okay.
the mayor does have the ability to do that. And also per the charter, we have to go at market value, and market value is 25,000.
Okay. and
So
thank you
that's
on that.
why it's there.
Thank you, Director Clyburn. So Madam Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 6, please?
Hold on, please. Please, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But I want to make sure that I understand. Because this person, developer, put in something 2 years ago, and we decide to
2.5.
change. And we decide to change CED directors, not necessarily we, but third person. We decide we're gonna punish him.
It's not
Because
a
now,
punishment.
I
The
don't know.
rules are the rules, the process is the process.
And
You're
can
not
you
gonna do
tell
that to me,
where-
Ms.
who we
Manica.
bidded it out? What other
You're not
process
gonna
did we
do that
bid
to
out?
me, Ms. Manica. When we had the development right next door here, on
What
the other
other
side
properties did
of
we bid
City
out?
Hall, those people were
Ms.
required
Al-Shafi, you have
to
exercised
make
your
a
2
bid for that
opportunities.
land.
You have
And
exercised
even
your 2
though,
opportunities to
and
speak
even
during
That's
though
inaccurate.
the development did
Madam
not
Deputy
come
Clerk,
through because the residents
please
didn't
call
want
the
that
roll.
piece of
That's
property
inaccurate.
on that land.
That's
They did
inaccurate.
do
No,
property.
no, it didn't.
Please
The
call the
mayor
roll.
sent out an RFP for that.
Director
So
Clyburn.
they,
Thank you.
okay.
Madam Deputy Clerk, please
Whatever.
call the roll.
Councilman Ashafi,
No,
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
I'm going to have to say no until we get a building department.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 7 under finances, the submission of the monthly financial statement for January 2024. City Council, what's your pleasure?
Where are we? I'm sorry.
We're on item 7.
I move to approve the submission of the monthly financial statement, January 2024.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica for item 7. This is we're receiving and filing the monthly financial statement for January 2024. Is there support? Chair offers support. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll, please? This is for item
Count-
7A.
To receive and file,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Ashafi,
not till they give me a spreadsheet, no.
Councilwoman Martin,
No.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
I'll have to make one, Madam Mayor.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No,
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion fails 3-2. Next item under finance, submission of the financial statement for June 30th, 2023. City Council, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve or receive and file the submission of financial statements, June 30th, 2023.
We have support. Chair offers support. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll on item 7B?
Councilman Ashafi,
No,
Councilwoman Martin,
No.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes to receive and file, motion fails. 3-2. Moving on to item 8 under fire. This is a resolution to approve the Highland Park Fire Department to apply for the FEMA Assistance to Firefighters Grant for a new fire truck. City Council, what's your pleasure on item 8?
Motion to approve.
I second.
Motion to.
We have a motion on the
approve.
floor
Come
to
with
approve from Councilman Al Shafi, seconded by Councilwoman Robinson. We have discussion, Ms. Manica. I've known that you heard.
No, I just was
Okay.
gonna make a full motion, but that's okay.
Okay, fine. So we'll move on to item 8. Would you take the roll on item 8, please?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson.
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, thank you very much. Moving on to item 9 under recreation, it's a resolution to approve the transfer of parcels 4300-601-013600 and parcel number 4300-601-04700 and 4300-601-0044001 to the Parks and Recreation Department inventory.
Motion to approve with questions.
Support.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Ashafi, support from Councilwoman Manica. Let me pull up these parcels on Land Grid because I got questions of my own. For those of you who are not familiar, Land Grid is a resource that anybody can use. Gives you parcel information for every piece of property in the United States of America. I encourage you to get familiar with it. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, these parcels in question, Mr. Lackey, can you open up the screen share so I can put this parcel up on the screen?
Good evening, Ms. Miranda.
Hold on just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, parcel in question. We'll come on the screen in just a second. This is Land Grid. Land Grid shows you where the parcels are. This is the one parcel. This is the other one. Let me make sure I got my parcel numbers correct. Yep. Those are the parcels. For citizens at home, like I said before, please familiarize yourself with Land Grid. It'll help you with property ownership, also zoning for properties. It's a very useful tool. Everybody in Highland Park should be familiar with it. Ms. Noranda, you are at the podium, so I'm going to turn it. We have a motion on the floor. Probably was from Councilman Ashafi.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was supported by Council Pro Tem.
No.
Yeah, so my question,
okay, go ahead, sir.
My question is just one of it's a legal formality. When we transfer this land over to the rec department, if legal could answer this for me, will this land stay with the rec department and is anybody allowed to sell this land afterwards?
No, of course, any sale will have to come back. What's the intent of the use of the property? Is being transferred to recreation for what specific reason?
Okay, perfect. That's all I wanted to know. That's it. I just want to get that on the record. That's all. I'm done.
So are you trying to do something different with the land?
No, it is staying a green space, yes.
Okay.
So it remains in the
Yes.
inventory of the city. I mean, it remains with the city.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Council Pro Tem has a question.
I see your hand. Madam Pro Tem, please.
On parcel number 3. This lot is attached. This parcel is attached to the old Dairy Workers Hall that's fenced in.
Madam, that parcel is on the screen right now.
I know where I live in Highland.
I'm showing you the parcel on the screen.
Please do not interrupt me. Thank you so much. What legal procedure will you take to get that land back because it is fenced in? Can legal advice speak on that?
Those are things that we're going to work with them with. And what we wanted to do was establish that property into the recreation inventory with the intent to work with the Greenway and the Greenway Partnership. And if there's any issues there, then we can take it to legal and have them remove that fence. The property survey has already been done through the Joe Louis Greenway, so we will be able to know the exact dimensions. And if we have to do any proceedings after that, we'll move forward with that.
So have you gotten in contact with the owners of that property?
The Greenway actually has, because they did the original land measurements. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sue.
Okay,
You're welcome.
any additional questions? We go ahead and get the vote on this. All right, Madam Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 9 of the recreation?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yeah, motion carries. Moving on to item 10, outside communication. Thank you, Mr. Aranda. Item A is communication from the League of Women Voters of Detroit, introducing Warner Washington, who will be observing the meeting or of the meetings of the city of Highland Park. Is she here? From the League of Women Voters?
I think she left.
Okay, so this is, we're
Motion
just,
to receive and file.
okay, we have a motion on the floor to receive and file this
Second.
communication from Councilman Al-Shafi, seconded by Councilwoman Manica. Would you please call the roll on item 10A?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yeah.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yeah.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
No.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, thank you very much. To receive and file. Under item 10, a request from Demond Petty with Juneteenth outreach to host Juneteenth festivals, 5K run, parade, and family day on Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. City Council, what is your pleasure on item 10B?
Motion to approve. I do believe that he has a presentation for us.
Okay,
I
so
second.
we have a motion to, we can just approve it. Now, we have a motion to approve from Councilman Al-Shafi and seconded by
we can look at his
Councilwoman Robinson.
presentation,
Mr. Petty,
Councilman.
He's here.
Mr. Petty, would you like to present, or would you just want to get it approved? What would you like to do? Thank you, sir. So, Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll on item 10B?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, thank you very much.
Are you? Sis, that's outside communication. He's making,
He's making a request.
I know.
Approve the request.
They approve the
They can go
request.
ahead and approve the request now.
He has to turn in the final paperwork.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So now we're moving on to item 11. We have the resolution that was provided to us by Mr. Al-Shafi. And this is the resolution related to the approval of the posting. We deliberated on this at length. I'm confident enough that the members of City Council should be able to have a straightforward vote on item 11. It's
Council
up to
President.
council if you'd like to make a motion on how we proceed for this.
Council President, you're missing the citizens participation first.
No, sir, we're on, we still have to do your resolution. We put that at item
Okay,
11.
okay. I thought they put that under
It-
council event.
No, that's at 11. We're gonna vote on it and then we go to.
Okay, my apologies.
So we're on 11. This is the resolution to approve the posting for the city treasurer position. We deliberated on it at length. So at this point, we could just make a motion to approve it and keep it moving.
Motion to approve with one slight amendment, Council President. Just one slight amendment, please.
What's that amendment, sir?
Okay, so on the posting, not on the resolution, on the posting, at the very bottom here, it says individuals interested in applying for the position should contact the City of Highland Park Human Resources. This is not a city job. This is an appointed position. It's an elected seat. I would like for those applications or for those resumes to go to the clerk and then they find their way to us. I don't think that we need to be mixing council affairs with city administration. This
So
is
what you're
our
gonna have to
business,
do
it's not
is-
theirs.
What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to hand amend this and provide it to the clerk. That's completely reasonable. So if you're gonna do that, please make the alterations and give that to the clerk on our way out of here so that this can be included in the final resolution.
Not a problem.
You did
With the
right.
dates
This
too,
was
yeah.
prepared. This was prepared prior to this, so we're gonna have to make sure that it is done properly.
Yes.
moving forward. So we got that on the floor. So we have a motion on the floor to approve this resolution
With amendment.
with an amendment of who the applications go to, and that is to be turned into the clerk. Do we have support for
I
this?
second.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
hello,
Yes, ma'am.
hello.
I hear
Good
you.
evening, good evening. How are you?
Very good.
Okay. Councilman Ashafi
Yes,
had
ma'am.
mentioned that he wants the resumes to come to me. Now, and I know this is you all first time with vacancy fullness. The resumes are sent to the city hall in care of city council. I do not open them. I place them in the council president's mailbox. That's
Okay.
how that is done.
Okay, all right, I can accept that.
Thank you, ma'am.
I can accept that with no problem.
So we have a motion on the floor to approve resolution. This is item 11, the resolution to approve posting for the city treasurer. That also includes a detailed explanation of the Highland Park City Council's posting with 6 items here. We worked out the details on how these resumes will be received. We have a motion on the floor that was made by Councilman Ashafi. Was it seconded by you, Council Pro Tem?
Yes.
Supported by Council Pro Tem. You call the roll on item 11, please.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes, on 11A.
There's only 11.
there's no 11A.
It's just item 11. There's no A.
So what's the dates?
No, ma'am. Wait, so, and, yes, so one more, please. Can we get this? You were in the middle of your vote. I mean, your count. Let's get this.
Did you say yes? Council President Thomas?
Yes, motion carries. Mr. El Shafi correlated the dates in there. Ms. Robinson, I'm sure he can help you with that.
I don't need any help. I
So
got it.
we are now at the portion of the agenda for citizens' participation. I'm holding to 120 seconds slavishly today. So if you have comments that you'd like to make, come to the podium and you'll get your 2 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Jamil Edwards. I am a Highland Park resident. Good evening, Honorable Board. I wanted to, we were talking in the audience about the motion that Ms. Manica made. Ms. Manica could not make that motion. It had to be one of the 3 that said no to bring it back for consideration. And then when you vote for 2/3, it has to be 4 votes. We looked it up. I want to talk about the water bill doubling. Nobody has addressed that. And after you decide the talk, I'd like to know, why did my water bill double? And when the meters come in and you do a study, do our bills stay the same or do it come back? And if you realize that you overcharge us, do we get money back?
Thank you, ma'am. Any other citizen that would like to be heard for 2 minutes?
Good evening, Council. Lisa Stolarski here. I would just like to remind you guys that GLIWA was supposed to be done with that document on the 15th of January, and they took an extra month to process it, which was fine. You know, they did say that they were going to come to speak with us, and they didn't, which obviously was not fine. But I think that you have every right to ask for another week or 2 to read the document thoroughly, to have conversations about it, to consult lawyers, not at the very last minute, just, you know, a few minutes before you vote. I don't think that that was fair to you guys. And I just wanted to say that I thought tabling it was the most responsible thing that you could do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens that would like to be heard? Hearing none, I'll move on to council affairs. Thank you very much, citizens. I'm sorry, 1 second. Let me check online. Let me do that. Do we have hands raised, Mr. Lackey?
Yeah.
You wanted to speak, sir?
Yes.
I'm a Highland Park officer, so I'm just want to make a statement. How the council gave you guys respect to talk, I expect the same thing, because our job is to take people out of here when they make noise and they interrupt the court. we being really tender about it. We're not trying to do that, because we know y'all care about Highland Park. We want you to hear everything that's said and done. So I'm just asking, don't make our job hard by out speaking, out bursting and fussing and cussing and things like that. Let's just try to keep it down, you know? Everybody got something to say, but only one person like her at one time. Make it easy for us, and make it easy for y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
On the mayor's side, yeah, we can't help it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Ms. El Shafi, Council Affairs.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going to happen here. I appreciate the fact that it has been tabled. I understand why my colleagues tabled it. I'm in total agreement with them. We definitely did not have enough time. We were not given enough time. But I just want to say very quickly, unlike the council president has made the statement, I definitely read this bad boy. It took me 4 days. In fact, I read the last of it right before I got here. Okay, and after I read it, I had more questions than answers. So even though I read it, I was still confused by it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong in the least. I didn't comprehend half of what went on here, but I definitely read it. Okay. And to be made to look like I didn't read it is an insult, but that's his MO. So I get that. I'm fine with that. But I think that Gleewood needs to come before us. I'm tired of them stalling out. I don't know who it is on which side that's playing this game, going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I do remember that just at the start of the meeting in the workshop, somebody told us that somebody had informed them not to come here. So maybe that's the same process that happened here for Gleewood. They were maybe advised it wasn't a good idea to come here. Well, you know what I'm saying? And that may be the case. I mean, after all, when you drop a 250-page manifesto, I'm pretty sure that it's going to raise a lot of questions that they might not want to answer. But I'm not worried about what's in the manifesto. I'm worried about what's missing. What is it costing us? What are the penalties? What are the service fees? What access do we have? What is our role here, which is nowhere in here to be seen? It's just all about what they're going to get, when they're going to get it, and how they're going to get it. And they mention the fact of fees and penalties, but no mention of what those fees and penalties may be. Okay, I don't even know what our monthly bill is going to be. Yeah. I don't even know what that is. And that should have been something that should have been included in here. Yeah. Okay, we need to know these things. And I'm not trying to hold up the process. I definitely don't want the levy on the residents, but at the same time, I do agree with my colleagues. We need a little bit more time. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But they need to come before us and really talk to us and give us a clear understanding. Anything that is pending legally, they don't have to discuss this. But this manifesto here is public knowledge. They can at least discuss that. Okay, because this is online for anybody to look at. It's there for you to look at. Because Gleewood voted on it on the 14th, which made it public knowledge from that point on. So their meetings are subject to the Open Meetings Act, just like ours. Okay, so anything that they agreed upon, you can now have access to see what it was. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm hoping that we can get through this process. I'm hoping that all is not lost. But we have been here before, HP. We've been on the brink of the pit of the fire before. And God has always pulled us back. We're on the brink of the pit of the fire. And God has always pulled us back. I think we're going to be okay. Keep praying with your HP and let's keep fighting. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Good evening, HP. what can I say about this 400-page Bible? What can I say about it? The reason why I felt like it needed to be tabled, because there needs to be a lot more clarification. You know, there's signatures in here, there's things that been agreed upon, but like City Council Shafi said, what were we agreed upon? You know, Citizen just said that her bill doubled. Okay, what, it doubled because she's covering what? What is that? What is it paying for? Is it paying to bring the bill down? Is it because the meters are coming in? Is it all the above? What is it? So there needs to be more than just read this in 4 days and then talk to the attorneys. Now, the other thing I find very interesting is Glee was had several times to come and talk to us.
That's right.
Right? And then we've been in mitigation, right? But they were prepared with 100 lawyers and they were all ready, but they're not ready to answer questions. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I am not clear about that. And my thing is, we all deserve some understanding, especially if it's going to triple, double. We don't know. We need some clarification. And then that being said, I want to say thank you for coming out this evening. For those of you who stayed this long, appreciate it through all the turmoil that's been going on up here. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to City Councilwoman Manica.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out this evening. I am going to respond. So I re-looked it up. I still don't see the vote of the 2/3, but I do see what you referred to. So it depends on how you read it. So I can admit to that. Either way, we voted. And so I'm not sure if the audience was trying to correct me more so or correct the president. Because he said yes to that it was majority vote, or yes, that it was okay, passed. But just like you are correcting us on some things, I think it's some other things that could be taught as well, like how to make a correct motion sometimes. So if you're gonna correct one, you need to correct all. Now, is this the time and place? Maybe not. But I'm sure some of us talk to each other outside of here. And if you can teach those things as well, then teach them outside. Because I'm not dumbfounded to this. And I can admit, the other thing is, make sure that you understand. And now I'm talking to my council members. I don't understand everything either all the time, but I don't vote when I don't understand. I do not vote when I don't understand. And as far as the residents, I said this again. I respect you. I ask you to respect me. I can't tell you what to do with the rest of the council people, but I ask you to respect me. And if you host a meeting, you do not see me coming and disrupting it, or online disrupting it, and make sure that you got your business in order while you're trying to keep our business in order. Because I think more than just city council and administration is out of order in this city. So we need to help each other instead of trying to criticize, reprimand, and make each other look bad. You need to take that into consideration. And I say that with a clean heart. Because I am one of those people who deal with the water bill, and I deal with more than one. So again, you need to take that in consideration. Y'all like to see a fight, but you better know what battle you in. All of y'all not in the same fight, I guarantee you. So stop coming in here trying to cause commotion. I appreciate the officer pointing that out. Being disruptive doesn't help anything. It does not. All these second and third agendas is what got us here in the first place. I love you, Highland Park. I love HP. But you're not. This is ridiculous. And if we have to say that you have to be escorted out, that's what's gonna happen from this point on. Because you're not gonna disrespect me. Have a great night.
Madam Pro Tem.
Good evening, HP. Y'all know I love y'all. I brought this up at the last council meeting, not the special meeting, but the council meeting in regards to Safe Built and the contract that's been up since September of 2023. And my question again is what's going on with that? And from October to the present, any development that was approved and was approved from the building department, is it void? Can anybody answer that?
I'm sorry, I heard it and I didn't. Would you please?
Safe Built contract has been expired since September of 2023. I am asking from October to present that if the building department had to approve anything, is it void because he doesn't have a contract with the city, Safe Built? Can anybody answer that question?
I would say not. If a contract expires, then more often than not, people are on a month to month at that point until it's actually renewed or until it's brought back to council for a vote to approve
So
a new contract. But what they're doing is not just canceled out.
Authorizes a month to month.
Let's make sure we stay this to the agenda, Council Affairs.
I'm just saying, until something is filled, it's just like with council people it's just like with appointments. You know, they remain in that position until someone else is, either they're reappointed or someone else is appointed. So, you know, his work is just not canceled out. But I will see what I can find out in terms of when we can get that back before council in terms of a renewal.
Thank you.
That's still didn't answer my question.
What can you, will you want to send me an email and I'll follow up?
I did.
You sent one to me?
No, Mr. Clark.
Oh,
Mayor.
okay.
Frank Haywood.
Would you want to forward it to me, Council from Robinson, and I'll try to follow up.
I can do that for you to tell me that I have to send it to John Clark. I just cut out the middleman.
So I'm saying what you sent to John Clark, if you would forward it to me, then I will follow up. You do have to send stuff to him. He's the city attorney. But because you're here tonight asking me the question, I want to be able to try to assist you. So if you would send it to me, I'll try to follow up.
I can do that. Thank you.
Okay, you're right.
Floor is yours, President.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a slow learner, but I'm learning. I notice how quiet it is when everybody else is speaking, and I love to make eye contact with people while they're being disrespectful, and it just makes me ask the question, why? Like, what did I do to you that you figure you want to spend your whole 2 weeks getting ready to come in here and be disrespectful to me in this chair? What did I say November 6th? I shouldn't be sitting here if the election wasn't tampered with. So no good deed goes unpunished. Somebody voted disenfranchise the people of Highland Park, and so I'm sitting in this chair so that y'all can come every 2 weeks and make offensive comments. I'm a slow learner, but I'm learning. I'm learning, and I'm going to start to attend your meetings as well so that I can share with you the joy that you're bringing to me. Let me point something out to you. Centerline is a city that is surrounded on all sides by another city. It's surrounded on all sides by another city. So those of you who are hell-bent on saying the Highland Park can never lose its charter, you're wrong. Just like the state legislature got together to talk about this water thing, and the Senate and the governor, they can do that and we can lose our charter and we can become a neighborhood in the city of Detroit. When I say this is your government at work, that's not to make you mad. That's just to make you ask the question, are you seriously unaware that we could lose our charter and become a neighborhood in the city of Detroit? If you haven't gone to sleep on that notion, ladies and gentlemen, please do. Our population is 8,900 and dropping. How long do you think it would take for the legislature and the governor to get together to say, you know what, you people can't govern yourselves? I'm not the city council president in Highland Park. I'm the city council president of Highland Park. So when I go to Lansing tomorrow, I'm not gonna be able to pretend I don't live here. I ain't gonna be able to pretend I'm not your neighbor, that I don't walk my dog and play with my kids around the corner. Sitting in this chair, my responsibility is to make sure as city council president of Highland Park that I'm looking out for the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. And it is not to come in here to play tennis with y'all on issues. If I want to do jujitsu, I know where to go. If I want to get punched in the face, I know exactly where to go. I meet with my friends 3 or 4 times a week, and we punch each other in the face so that we don't have to do it in real life. But if you think that that's what this meeting is about, then we are putting ourselves in severe jeopardy. You can lose this city. You can lose this city. Don't think so? That's fine. Believe what you want to believe. But just as easy as the legislature got together to decide they were going to kick this money in and move heaven and earth, and senators who've never heard of you before and House members who've never heard of you before made a decision. They voted either in favor of or not for this Gleewood situation. We can lose our city seat and become a neighborhood in the city of Detroit if we cannot govern ourselves. Isn't that something? Here we are in Black History Month about to totally disenfranchise ourselves by losing our city seat and potentially lose our charter as a small town if we don't get our stuff together. It's okay. Highland Park has long been the victim of voter disenfranchisement. Here we are in Black History Month, and it's not the Mississippi Delta, and it's not Boss Hogg and Cooter. It's a moneyed interest and people with legal knowledge who are turning your city into a basket of confusion. For what? For what? For 8,900 people? The closest Detroit City Council district has 92,000 people in it. They'll split the city in quarters, and just like that, Highland Park will be a neighborhood, like Island View, like Brightmoor, like East English Village. It'll be a neighborhood. Let us keep playing these games. What do they say? Mess around and find out, right? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. These battles of personality and grandstanding will mean absolutely nothing if we lose our city's charter. Keep playing these games, all these experts. I'm not an attorney, so I don't play one. I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn last night either. Keep playing these games with the way that our city is run. And very soon, you'll be in Councilman Benson's district, or in Councilwoman Sheffield's district, or in Councilwoman Callaway's district. Don't take my word for nothing. The entire state of Michigan is watching everything that goes on in these meetings. There's a couple hundred people watching this feed right now. All I have to say is keep playing. You know, games you can win or lose. This is our future. And on the water, I read 10 pages of that document and I knew that we were being screwed. I didn't waste 4 days reading it because I know we were being screwed. I sat in on mediation. This is not what we signed up for. Okay. I knew then. You don't have to drink the whole carton of milk to know that it's spoiled. All you need is a sip. And I saw that it was rotten. The consensus is we don't owe. We don't owe. We don't owe. Except Mr. Thomas. Isn't that funny? Ladies and gentlemen, having concluded all business of the city of Highland Park, the chairman will declare this meeting adjourned.